Okay, the trusty tool and cutter grinder. What I want to do is I want to make up some new hubs, or when I say I want to make up, I need some extra hubs for holding stones, because I don't want to be changing stones and hubs and stuff every time that I do a stone change and true them up, because it just takes so long. It's very time consuming. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to measure the taper, because the hub's on the taper. I wanted to measure the taper. Now I measured it and I came up with some rather interesting numbers, which we'll go through in a bit. Then after I'd measured it, what I did was I was also I was trying to check some the accuracy of some machining that I'd done, and I came across a little gremlin which I'll go through with you now, and we'll have a look at what I found to be a problem, and then we'll go through how I'm going to fix it. So what I did was I was measuring the taper. I did it the small diameter, large diameter, distance, and it's damn hard to measure on a machine. I don't know how well you can see that. I hope you can see it well enough. I won't know until I actually have a look at it. And I measured it twice and I came up with two different sets of numbers. So then what I did was I got the got two dial gauges and I put one on the taper. One ran along the taper and one ran along the y-axis on the grinder, and I wound it in 100th at a time because my gauges were imperial, and I took measurements on the taper, and from there I extrapolated it out because it was consistently going up 12 thousandths of an inch per 100th hour. That was going up 12 thousandths of an inch per 100th hour that I was measuring. This is only one side, so the actual diameter reduction was 24 thousandths of an inch per 100th hour, which interestingly enough is 24 to 1, and 24 to 1 is actually rather an interesting ratio. I say 24 to 1. It doesn't work out at 24. It works out at 4.166, but anyway, we ended up with 240 thou over 1 inch, which is, being a metric machine, I converted back to 6.096 per 25.4 millimetres. Now 100 divided by 25.4 equals 3.9 da 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 da. So the 6.096 multiplied by the answer gives you the 24 mil, which lines up obviously with what we had there in the imperial numbers. So the taper is 24 millimetres per 100 millimetres, 2.4 millimetres per 10 millimetres, 24%, but it's 4.16666 reoccurring to 1, which is 13 degrees 41 minutes, or 13.69 degrees. So I thought that's just, yeah, unusual is a good way of putting it. But it is a metric machine and it's made in Asia. But coincidentally, the basis that I was using for the dial gauge, the next job that I did, I was trying to check some machining accuracy. And I came to my surface plate. And I put them on the surface plate, and actually this one's not too bad. This plate is accurate to within 1/10,000th of an inch. But as you can see, hopefully you might be able to hear it, this here rocks like you really don't want to know about. And And if I bring it over onto the back face here, well, it's not as bad. Now this here's, I'll get that out of the way, I'll get my stuff off there. A lapping plate. This has come from Carbotech, but as you can see, it's specified to within 1/10,000th of an inch. Look, it's only a cheap piece of granite. It's not expensive, but what I found is that this one's got quite a bit of rock in it. If I take my metric feeler gauges here, that there's 7/100ths of a millimetre. Nine hundredths just gets in under that corner. So 1/1000th of an inch is 2.5 hundredths, so that's where are we? Yeah, well, 900ths gets in there comfortably when I've got a bit of cock weight on this corner. 0.1. Let's go. A little bit yuck there, so 0.1 gets in there quite comfortably. So that's about 1/4 out there. There's no point getting too much carried away. We can see that that one there is not particularly good. This one here's got a little bit less. 0.1 won't go in. 0.08. 0.08 just gets in there. Probably should be a little more. Got this on the back here, we'll see here. That's 0.07. 0.1. 0.15 here. So 0.15's gets in under the corner there anyway. So 0.15, that's yes, roughly 1/6 out. 0.1's about 1/4 out, just a fraction under. So that one's not very good. These are my little ones. I've just taken the stand off them. We'll have a look at these. We'll start with 0.05, which as you can see it's just .05's just going under the corner there, and it's going under there. This is its partner in crime. Again, 0.05. So we're talking 5/100ths. That's less than that, so I'm not going to get too worried about that. Now this one here is made in Japan. It hasn't been cleaned up, hasn't been faced off. It's just, I've had this one since I was an apprentice. 5/100ths doesn't even look like going under there. But now what I'll do in a minute is I'll give that a quick clean up, because there might be a bit of dirt on that. This here is my old Moore and Wright lumper cast that I use occasionally, and when you get on that, that's let's go down here. There's a 0.02. So this is 2/100ths of a millimetre. Which is about 2/100ths of a millimetre, and it doesn't even look like going under there. 2.5 of a millimetre is 1/1000th of an inch. So that's pretty much what you'd expect. So what I'll do now, this is just a bit of 360 grit, wet or dry. Just going to give this a quick rub, just to give it a little bit of a clean up. The surface here is not as clean as I'd like it to be. As you can see, we're a long way away from a full contact there, and on there we're touching here, here, here. So the moral of the story there is there's a little bit of wobble there. I feel just a fraction of wobble there. The moral of the story is that even though you buy stuff like this, when I bought it was quite expensive. I forget what I paid for it because I've had it for over, well, probably getting close to 30 years now. They're not necessarily accurate, although that is significantly more accurate than what this is. If I'm being kind to this, it's better than it's made. But this one here, it's not even in the ballpark. You might be able to see, I hope you can see, it's touching there, there, and I'm actually having trouble a little bit here. So we've got one contact point there, one here, one here. As you can see, these actually look like they've been finished in a shaper, to be honest with you. Just a shaper or a belt. That looks like it's belt finished. Yeah, these might have been, if they've been finished on a stone, it's been a pretty mediocre job. So what we're going to do is we're going to have to make these flat. And what I would like to do, although it's not critical, I'd like to get these somewhere near to 90 degrees to each other. Because if I've got them at 90 degrees, then I can actually use them as magnetic clamps on the for holding stuff. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try and get them as close to 90 degrees as I can, and we're going to try and make them flat, so that when we put them on here, they don't rock like that. And then I can start using them for actually testing stuff. We'll be back soon.